Hello. Hope everyone's doing well. This is my new model. Seems like no one's here. Hey, hello. People are finally here. I get to see my model now. Oh, my phone. I'm not gonna play Elden Ring today because I'm doing debut for my character. Gonna chat for a bit, then I'm gonna play Powerwash Simulator because today's gonna be a little bit more casual. I'm gonna see if anyone else arrives before I really just start. Decide when I'm gonna switch. Yes, and something else even more interesting. I need to activate. Okay, not exactly activating, but this. I have bloody hands. Bloody hands are mostly because of lore of the character. She murders people. Or did she? She didn't really. Spoilers. There. Also, hand tracking. Not that great. But I wasn't expecting like Baphomet levels of hand tracking. Yes. Yes, I did. I put a ton of work. I mean, you can literally tell that I put in a lot of work from how much I've used my Twitter. I even made a secondary model that I would use for more casual parts of, well, streams. But I want this model to be the debut model because it's more of the common one. My tracking is going to go off for a second because I need to do something. Yes, a lazy model. It's yes, wearing a hoodie. Yeah, tracking's gonna go off for a bit because I need to do something. Voila, tracking's returned. I'm actually sitting in a chair now. some reason I thought with how much engagement I was getting on Twitter, I'd have maybe a couple more people. But it looks like I'm not getting that much. Which kind of makes me think maybe I should switch the game faster. I'd rather not just sit here waiting for people. I mean, a lot of people do just sit talk for their thing, but they usually have like 10 people talking, so it's more of a conversation. So I'm gonna give people like 5 more minutes. I'm just gonna switch to Powerwash Simulator. So weird when the hand tracking turns on, just spontaneously. I'm just like, you weren't on before. Why are you tracking now? I didn't even attempt to get you on. Powerwash Simulator. It's actually, you've never heard of it? It's you just power wash stuff. You make stuff clean. I plan to go back to Elden Ring tomorrow, but today I'm just like Power Wash Simulator. Hello. I can't pronounce your name. Manu Ken Sensei? Probably that's it. Or I'm completely wrong. There's also a chance I didn't say it correctly because I recently started hearing my voice way more. And I realized, wow, I mumble a shit ton. Because I had to edit my own, the lore videos I put out. And I was just like, wow, I now know why people can't understand me some of the time. Because there are certain words that I was just like, I completely mispronounced that. Like, student. That's cool. I'm glad when I'm at least somewhat right. But on the matter of mispronouncing words, I know there's one word that I will always mispronounce. And that is because of my dialect. I will always mispronounce mountain because of my dialect. There's no changing it. I can't just go mountain. That sounds weird for me. So I got to say mountain, even though I know that's incorrect. And I know that people know that that's my dialect thing. Yeah, mountain. I say mountain like mountain. How it's actually supposed to be pronounced like mountain. I missed the T entirely. Well, technically in mountain, the T is supposed to be pronounced. Because of my dialect, I miss it. And technically people can identify where I'm from because I don't like, well, a region of the US. You can identify a region of the US that I'm from because I don't pronounce the T. It's one of those weird things like you can identify where I'm from if I say stuff like pop or soda. Depending on which one I use majoritively, you can also tell where I'm from. One of those weird things that's just like, you can tell this. You can tell kind of, if you line up all this stuff, you can tell. Yeah, but I go mount Notice I didn't say mount. When I say mount, I pronounce the T. When I say mountain, I miss the T entirely. And I've had plenty of speech classes. I will never correct mountain because when you get speech classes, you get taught by the people who speak your dialect. So they would never correct mountain to mountain or mountain because what's the point of fixing it? I think I've given everyone else long enough to join the stream. Well, I have a third viewer, but you're not talking. So I'm going to switch to the game and I'll just chat while playing. Yeah, I fully know that. I literally lurked in other people's stream recently, just been like, I should chat. And then I just went, no, I don't have the courage, even though I'm streaming right now and making my voice heard. Yet I just went, no, I don't want to chat because reasons I don't really even know. Yeah, this is power washing layer. It is essentially just you power wash stuff clean. Like how you could power wash my clothes to be clean of the blood. Well, sometimes you power wash like cars. Like I can't get it's bad at pointing. But right behind my head is the rover. It's one of the things you can clean. First thing you ever clean in this game is the fan that you take everywhere with your power washing equipment. Oh, so there's no way I can explain it that great. You'll just have to watch and actually see it because, frankly, it's not building stuff. it is just cleaning. Like, this is literally it. Like, this is all you do. And I just realized there's no water sound. Did I turn that off? Yes, I apparently turned it off. Yeah, I apparently turned everything for it down because I definitely turned the volume up, yet still no sound. This game is like, at least for me, the definition of like oddly satisfying, like r/oddly satisfying, because it's just getting all this muck off is just lack. I very much think that's why the people made this game because they were just like, you know what's really, really fun to watch? Power washing videos. So they just kind of went, want to make a game out of that. That's kind of what I did before. Just like deciding to play on a stream. This would just be something I'd play to pass the time. That's why I'm like, it's the perfect just sit and chat kind of game. Because Elden Ring, I just found, oh, I'm too focused sometimes to even pay attention to the fact that I'm streaming. So just like, that can't be a game that I'm going to do for my debut. I then also realized something else about it, that apparently my computer can't stream, have my model up, record, and play the game for 3 hours without it starting to experience glitches. Which was really just surprising, because I don't know if it was noticeable, but near the end of my first stream of Elden Ring, I was just like, I hope no one else is noticing that those really, really blatant texture pops in the distance. I know I may have just been like looking too closely with like at it at that moment, but I noticed it and I was just like, oh, I hope that doesn't get any worse. I also know that those glitches may have just been the fact, like, it's not a well optimized game, but it may have been that my computer can't do those like not six, I think it was only those four process intense things, and not experience some overheating possibly. So, though I'm going to try again to do 3 hours tomorrow, but mess with the graphics a bit. Because turning down the graphics a bit could just like fix that small glitch. Because I don't remember those glitches happening before when I played, but then again, I wasn't looking as closely because, frankly, the entire time I've been streaming, or at least the entire time I was streaming last time, I was so focused on the stream sometimes that and everything not failing that I was just like, wait, is this failing? And it wasn't even like, oh, am I failing at this? It was, is this thing failing? So that's like may have been the only reason I noticed this time. Before it could have been a total just, oh, I didn't notice it because I don't know. Yeah. I've actually I feel a little bad about this. So I've been watching a bunch on Twitter. I've been looking at a bunch of other people and just thinking, wow, people are blowing up and they haven't even streamed yet. Why am I not blowing up? I kept on having to remind myself, doesn't matter. You've got a job other than this. Some of those people might literally only have this as their job. I just kept on having to remind myself that. And I felt bad that I had to remind myself that. Even though I'm like, it's perfectly natural. But of course, there was still the part of me that was just like, am I not doing well because my model looks generic? Then I just thought, you know what? It doesn't matter that my model looks generic. It's my model. I made it myself. I should be proud of it. Even if I replace it in like a couple months with one that's like higher detail or something like that. I also partially think half the reason I don't I think one of the largest things you like power wash is like the outside of a fire building, as far as I remember. They even have a little replay. If you at all pay attention to a lot of like the clips that are made of the bigger VTubers, you can they are totally betrayed in this first mission because they basically like draw a dick in the clean part and then are like, wait, this gets recorded and shown back to you? You betray me. Yeah. This is the second mission. This is when you start to see the scope that you clean large things. I mean, at one point, you literally clean a skate park, I think. Yeah, you clean a skate park. Yeah. I've so I've played this game a lot technically. Like by a lot, I mean I've gotten pretty far in the levels, and eventually you get like the scaffolding thing to clean taller objects, and that thing is like the glitchiest thing ever because I've been thrown through the map multiple times because of picking it up. Well, I don't exactly know, but you can just search it up on Steam. But like they've it's not even like it is not out, like it's still technically early access. So I think recently it's like point 0.8 is the release that they're currently on. Like basically what they count as like different releases is just like putting in new content. Like the end of the available content at one point was can't remember what that available content was. But the available content was like, I think the last available content at one point was the fire station. And like the reason I got into this game was the way I'm pretty sure many people got into this game. It's watching other people play it. Because the way I basically found it was watching Markiplier just play it, and it's like, this is fun. And then when I started playing it, I started getting annoyed at how inefficient he was and how he didn't know certain roles, like inputs of the game, like being able to do this, like rotating your nozzle. He didn't know how to do that for most of his thing, and it was just like, it was aggravating. And I re-experienced that recently by watching another Let's Play like person do it. I was like, how do people not read the loading screen? It's like right in front of you every single time. But also, I totally understand now from actually streaming. I'm just like, there's so often that I probably just won't read. Like there are just some content creator things that you don't get until you've been a content creator. Like I've gotten annoyed at many game content creators for just being like, why can't you get this? It's super easy. The tutorial is right there. And then now that I'm streaming, I now understand like, oh, you don't get it because the tutorial is right there, and you just were too focused on commentary. Like every single time I've died to a boss in Elden Ring on stream, I know there's a 50% chance that it is because I was chatting. Okay, I was doing commentary, and thus I wasn't paying attention to what the fuck I was doing. Yeah, my cat has decided to be needy right now. So if you see my model glitch, it's probably just the cat, like calling at me or something. Or it could just be that the model tracking's bad. Probably both. Like, even though I'm like, didn't expect the tracking to be this good, it's still not as great as I expected. I mean, literally the worst tracking I've so far encountered is that sometimes my hands, like these, my hands right here, the tracked hands, literally like invert over each other and don't track the right hands. And like, originally I was like, I don't get why that's happening. And then I actually went into the settings and was like, of the tracking software for my hands. And it was just like, oh, it's because it's like multiple modes you can put it in. And the mode I put it in, had it in when it inverted the hands, was like, can't remember. It was desktop mode because I've got the tracker attached to myself because it actually gets a better view of my hands then. But if I don't have attached to myself, it thinks my hands are switched. Like, thinks my left hand is my right hand. Sorry for not chatting. Sometimes I just get caught up in the game. Even though it's like, this is really good chatting game. Sometimes it's just like, yeah, this is something that I'm just gonna engross in. But yeah, I'll just try to be better and actually chat. Hope everyone's day has been going well. So the my tracking is a little wacky right now because my cat just jumped in front of the tracker because she's like, I want attention. You may have been able to hear her just like have her little collar jingle jangle. It's hilarious when she does this. It's one of two things. She's either just going like, I want attention, or can I have your chair? I like your chair. So I'm going to annoy you into giving me your chair. Is that right? It's like, imagine my character is like in front of a desk. She's literally in front of me, like 6 inches away. That's how close she is right now. I don't know if she just wants attention or wants my chair. I can't really give her as much attention as she probably wants because Well, I'm playing a game and streaming, and I'm paying attention to chat and making sure this actual recording is going well, and I'm live streaming. You want my chair? Hmm. Attack my arm if you want my chair. I hope everyone who's watching is enjoying it. There's a told chat I might not stream 4 hours today, or there's just a told chat I might not stream 4 hours of this game today. I might switch to another game. I have a minor thought that I might play uh, MTG Arena today. aka Magic Gathering Arena. Just in case people didn't know what MTG meant, or some people thought it was a different thing that I'm just not going to mention because I'm just not gonna. No, maybe why my stream isn't as popular because I did set it to 18 plus. So maybe people are like 18 plus. Oh, I don't know if I can watch that. And I said 18 plus because I know I swear. I'm like, wouldn't you rather know that I swear? I don't swear enough. I've actively been trying not to. Like literally what I said before the single like F bomb was probably 90% of how much I swear. It's just I do it occasionally. So it should probably take off the adult rating or 18 plus rating. That people just aren't scared away by it because maybe that's a contributing factor. I don't know. Could also just be that I don't know. I am also streaming at the time that like shortly after someone else debuted, and one that I know has at least like over 100 followers right now. Recently, is also like live right now playing this other game. We're not gonna mention them so that nobody goes after them or thinks I'm jealous. I would love to watch that stream, but I'm like, I'm streaming right now. I can't watch stream while streaming because that would just kind of distract me. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I'm already distracted enough with how little I chat sometimes. I can't also be listening to someone else's voice while like streaming because that would just probably make me be like, oh, I'm paying attention to the other person, not what I should be paying attention to my chat. Right now, I feel like I'm talking to the void because there's no one chatting. Maybe I'm just talking to my cat. Yeah, I'm just gonna feel like I'm talking to my cat. She is right in front of me, still begging for attention. And giving her attention apparently startled her being like, what? You're paying attention to me? I thought you weren't. Yeah, currently with how the stream is going, I don't think I can play this for 4 hours. So probably really whenever I feel like it, I'll switch to uh like I'll switch to what I said, Magic Gathering Arena. I'll switch to that, and you guys will be able to see my deck both beat people and get slaughtered. I'm not the greatest. I'm definitely not the greatest player of Magic. I'm kind of bad actually, except against certain people. And then those certain people are like, just, oh, I recognize that you're good enough at this, so I'm going to team up with the other person to take you down. Like half the time I feel like when I lose, it isn't because my deck didn't work out and was intended to. It's because other people saw how my deck was supposed to work and just went, I don't want to see that, so you're gonna die. That really only happens when it's like a multi-person game. Because when it's one-on-one, I often win, especially in commanders, because for some reason I'm like somehow the best at commander. Well, out of all styles I play, I think it's mainly because I can see what I want to achieve with the commander deck, or what the commander deck's supposed to do if I play it pre-made, and can just be like, oh, that's what I'm supposed to do. So I can just be like, okay, this is what I do. Because with the newest set, Neon Dynasty, I just was like, okay, I'm supposed to get as many creatures out as possible and play this card. Well, not just creatures, artifact vehicles out as possible. Just like use this single card to turn them all into creatures, attack, and win. Like that's how I won. I won with overwhelming force while the other person just couldn't defend because they slightly thought, I don't have to defend. I'm wiping the floor with this person. So they attacked me almost full force before, leaving the house open for me using a single card and wiping them out. Air, finally, the water, which I'm also still going to turn down. Because it sounds too silent without the water. Yet the water is also sometimes too loud. Which is like the weirdest conundrum ever. Yeah. This right here, the ponds are like one of the hardest things to clean, at least in this part. So I got to be really, really diligent with it if I want to clean it in any sort of record time. You know what? I just realized I'm still on just chatting, so I should switch that. There, I fixed that. Maybe I'll get some ambient views from people wanting to watch this. Now that I've actually switched. Wait, is it even recording audio for this game? I don't think it is. Why didn't this guy don't even be able to hear it? There. Now you guys can hear the beautiful, beautiful tone of Powerwash. How did I mess it up? I know how I messed it up. Nobody needs to tell me that. It's called not remembering what I have to do in setting up game. Hope everyone's day is going well. Especially if you come from the VTuber community. Since, well, we haven't had the best day so far. I'm not gonna bring it up, but people who want to get away from it don't remember it. But, remember, that's only a small part of it. The rest of us are kind. Some percentage. And don't just think it's just the VTuber community that does this. Every community does this. There, hopefully I fixed a bit of the spike problem that I was noticing. Because even though I'm fine with some jank, I don't want to make people unable to watch this. Because I just can't do audio mixing. I know I'm bad at audio mixing. Wow, that was a massive spike. I should have just turned down the audio in OBS. There. Hopefully that will make it so it doesn't spike. So let's leave the spiking to my voice. Even though I don't have voice spikes. My voice is not one that spikes. I've known that for a long time, except when it does. Really, it's all contradiction. It's really, I should just stop talking. No, never stop talking, Sarah. It's your duty as a streamer to constantly talk. That means you're gonna talk for 4 hours to yourself, practically. That's fine. That's part of job description. You yell to the void and hope the void talks back. Frankly, I know I'm lucky to sometimes have the void talk back. Some people don't get the void to talk back at all. And I don't mean in a I've lost my mind sort of way. More like sometimes I get chat people to start combos with. Currently, I don't have chat people to start combos with. I think I just annoyed my cat into wanting. Nope, she still wants to be on me to annoy me. Sorry for yawning. I'm just so yawning. I'm not Laurel. I'm just yawning. I think people can easily tell what my humor is. Kind of those situational, you only get it if you get it types of humor. Like you only know the Laurel or Yanni thing if you were there for it. Otherwise, you're just like, Laurel? Yanni? What the fuck are you talking about? I know I just said I don't curse that much, yet I've like said the F word like 3 times in the past couple minutes. Maybe I do swear so much that maybe I should keep that on. Maybe I can just keep in mind when I turn it off. Yes, I swear. So stop swearing so that you're PG-13. Even PG-13s are allowed a single F-bomb. And come on. We all know the best F-bomb in like cinema history. And that is the Wolverine F-bomb in First Class. The F-bomb that I'm pretty sure the people knew was going to happen, but also caught them so off guard that it carries across slightly into the actual cut. For almost an hour. 3 more-ish to go. You can really see the impact that Yo Boomy made on how much I didn't feel like I was talking to the void as soon as he left. Or they left. I don't know. I mean, I was so focused that I was like, why did he send those emojis or emotes? And I realized after looking, when wondering why he wasn't talking or they weren't talking, I was just like, oh, that's why. He sent it to be like a bye-bye. Not like an unfollow as far as I can tell. Or just a, I'm out for now. I want to show you guys something. It's one of the funnier parts of this game because it's just like, yeah, you can do this. I have the force. I can grab stuff from very far away or places very far away. The force. It is with me. But no, yeah. Game's fun. You know, sometimes it is the most tedious thing ever. And you get to some of those bigger objects. Some of those bigger objects have so many nooks and crannies that eventually just like, and this thing, please be finished. That's why there's still a chance if something takes half a stream to complete, I may just switch. That is why this is not a full stream game. This is a cooldown game. Which is weird how I've also got another cooldown game called Hardspace Shipbreaker that I can play that game for so much longer than this game. I don't know why. Maybe it is literally just that this game is satisfying, yet sometimes it is the most tedious thing ever. While the other is like, oh yeah, I can play this for like 5 hours. Maybe it's just I like space games more. I don't know. I like space games so much. Why am I playing Elden Ring? That was like fantasy. Literally, the reason I know I like fantasy so much is because literally a VTuber brought up oh, if you were in a Dungeons and Dragons campaign, what would you be? Or like, what would you change your mod or something? I was just like, I'd be a human or Dampier. It's like a half vampire essentially. Paladin. And then because of the lore, I was like Paladin of Vengeance because my character is all about entire backstory essentially is I want to get revenge, even though my revenge I really shouldn't do. Like that's what my entire first video or second video is about. Can't remember. Even though I made them, I slightly forgot some of the contents within. Just like how I'll probably forget half of the stuff I say. Like if you asked me to tell you what I said like 5 minutes ago, I would not be able to tell you. You can really tell. I've gotten so used to my cat doing, like sitting in front of me that I've just completely got just like I forgot slightly that she was in front of me until she started moving again. But yeah, if any of you came from like a Discord or someplace other than Twitter, I have a Twitter. It's down in the about. Find that. You can also find links to my YouTube and a Discord that I have. Because I just had no win. I should have a Discord. That's an important thing to do if you want to have a community. That's like the new community thing. You know, there's a small part of me that wants to change to my lazy model. And by lazy, I literally just mean my comfy model. Even though your Obama said, oh, your lazy model, it's like my comfy model. It's the one that I'm just like, this is when I'm casual and chill and not a certain way. Why? Well, you there. Let's do the why won't you die meme. Yeah, there's no way actual power wash to do any like half the stuff you do in this game. It's like you're like an acrobat slightly with some of the stuff you do when you clean. Perfect example of you're an acrobat when you clean is being able to climb here, climb here. Now you can actually get upgraded like power washers in this game that you're not just stuck with what is essentially just the base power washer, and they actually start getting stronger and stronger. And prior I tried to save up all my money to buy the best one, but frankly as soon as I can afford the upgrade, I am getting the upgrade because on stream it would just seem it's a little too annoying to just have the exact same low power power washer until the end. Oh yeah, there's a shop right here. Power washers. That's where you go to buy them. 900. I don't think I can include it with this shop. So I will have to do like one more job, I think. No, I think it's two. It's like 4 levels. You start with level 1, and then you can make it all the way up to level 4, which is like, I think they literally call it professional grade. That is not the shop. Yeah, right here. Professional duty. light, medium, heavy, and professional. Oh yeah, that other YouTuber group that I got annoyed at when they weren't doing it correctly was Game Grumps. They recently started playing that. And I just like it. You literally at one point said, "Oh, it would be so great if I could do X thing that the game already has within it. Why can't I do X thing that the game already has in it?" And I was just thinking instantly, you can do X thing that the game has in it. Remember something that you kind of need to buy early on. Wait, buy this for each model. It's $50. I'll buy it. Here's this attachment. Really great with some parts. Like rust. I think that's one of the best, like, best uses for it is when you're trying to get rid of rust. What am I looking for? What have I done? I never cleaned these chairs. How dare I? Blasphemy. I didn't clean these fences either. How? I'm just bad. Bad. Wait, which one did I miss? Let me show you a thing to help with this. It'll highlight everything that you have yet to clean. There, I highlighted that. I apparently have a stuffed nose. Oh, it's right there. Okay, I really do need to activate this to find this. I can't. There it is. Voila. Look at that clean. Just so great. I sound to myself slightly monotone. Only 400 away. Sorry if you hear me eating. I'm eating goldfish. What should I clean? What should I clean? Nah. Well, this one. I remember this being not that hard. Plus, it will get me to the next power washer. Oh, so you get some more here. So some people think the reason everything is so dirty is because of that volcano. Which I'm just like, or everything could just be dirty and no one's cleaned it. I think it's a 50-50. I think some people just don't clean. I think that volcano is responsible for probably that volcano. Track hand. Track. Damn you, tracker. I find it funny how sometimes it's just real easy to tell when I'm not fully paying attention to the game, when I'm just like, I'm perfectly still, or I'm running into a wall. Like, you can real easily tell when I am just looking at something else, like dealing with a computer issue or something, because I just completely stop moving in the game. You know what? That was not effective. It did not clean. I am glad there's that mode, because it instantly makes me know, yeah, your cleaning method was poopy. Clean better. Plus, I think they take equal time. Oh, I'm gonna have to check on stuff to see if anything stopped. The cat just rolled over onto my keyboard. Okay, nothing looks. It looks like nothing has stopped. I'm very happy about without hate to send out 2 live notifications, especially if the streaming stopped. That would be the worst. I'd rather not spam people with I'm going live or I'm not going live or whatever. Well, whatever. I'm just gonna talk to it again. There's a total part of me that is like, even though I don't have anyone, I wanna like a raid, host people. I'm also still like, but I don't have an audience. But I know I have an audience. There are viewers. I can track who is viewing. I'm tracking you all. I know your location. Not really. I'm not happy. Closest thing that is or hacker that I am is slacker. I'm like Marty McFly. I'm not McFly. Really? My cat just flicked the towel into my hand while I was moving the mouse. What? Yes, kitty? I know, it's so annoying that I'm right here, existing. But you're just gonna have to live with it. Or, when I get up to do something, like take a little stretch, which I really should do. You're gonna steal my chair. I bet you are. Am I right? Or am I right? Or am I right? Right? You're gonna do that. I know it. You are predictable. You are like, I don't know, someone that is predictable. Or you're just my cat that I've lived with for like 3 years. No, 4 years. Maybe 5. When did I get you? Why aren't you responding, cat? Can't you speaketh a human parlance? Human tongue? Nope. Nope. She can't. She's a cat. And I'm a human. We do not speak the same language. Okay, I'm going to stretch a bit, so you might lose tracking. Then you'll get the unblinking one. The one that will murder you. I hope you are all prepared. Yep, my cat stole the chair. I knew it. As expected. Thankfully, I have a spare. And now, my hand tracking has returned. I don't have a cat in front of me. Yippee! Even though I'm not really gonna use it. Also, frankly, I am turning it off. The attachment is getting owie. Voila, no more hand tracking. It is such a disappointment. Just like me. I'm of course joking. I am not a disappointment. You are the worst ladder ever. Even though you're one of the best ladders ever. Still, I need to turn down the game. Nah, I won't turn down the game. If I'm peeking, you will just have to deal with it. Ah ha 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 ha. Maybe I should put the microphone away. There. Now I'm still peeking. Why am I peeking? Is this turning down? Yes, this is turning down the game. Hopefully you can all still hear me. To all of you that are maybe here, I don't know. I don't know how many views I have. I could have 0 and talk to the actual void rather than people who are enjoying the content. I hope you're all enjoying it. Otherwise, I really hope you wouldn't watch me. Because if I was actually the most boring person you ever watched, I would hope you would stop watching. Even though I do what? Yeah, this is one of the applications. This swirly nozzle is good for it. Eating. No. I already sped with it. It's like water. Absolutely nothing. Or as hard to get and again. All sorts of I really need to remember. I keep on remembering that. Even a little bit. Make my mouth. Nope. All it back. Yeah, I think I can. When I complete this, I think I'm switching. Because, well, yes, but this is starting to get a little bit of a tedious. I just remembered. I made a comment a while back. I don't know if anyone who was there when I made it here, but when I said, "Oh, I have a job," whatever, that's maybe why I don't get as much people. It's 2 parts and that is it. Because with the Reddit, some people that get big feet. that's part of why I'm like, oh, maybe that's the reason I'm not moving up as quickly, because I actually have tendency to not tweet as much. At the very least, I have like 12 followers, I think. I could have lost them all from the signal stream, but I don't even need Twitch followers. I mean, Twitter. Lost them all from single stream. But why were you all following me in the first place? If a single stream is what makes you think, oh, no, I don't want to be following you anymore. You there just because, oh, I want to grow big, so I'm doing a follow. Well, screw that. And flattening the downward spiral. It's going upward spiral. I don't know what to talk about. There's apparently talking to the void for almost 2 hours. Partially my limit. Maybe I need a game that I can actually talk at. Which is not this game. This is very much not a talk at game. This is a talk with people game. Which is not how it's been working. So maybe just 2 hours. There's still a chance. Will not be all washed. Get it at the 2 hour mark. Maybe I should. Never mind, saying ramblings. Or don't. If you're watching, you should pay attention. Because they are entertaining. No, if chat was talking, I'd ask them a question. I'm just gonna ask myself a question. Hey, Sarah. Or person behind Sarah. What kind of anime do you like? Oh, I like isekai stories. I also like fantasy, cyberpunk. Prison Shell is awesome. Though it is equally, it is. So I don't know how many of you heard this, but it is, or even know how what I'm experiencing. It is Metal Gear Solid levels of confusing sometimes, especially in standalone. Standalone does not hold your hand whatsoever. It's just like, oh, you lost the plot at some point. We're not helping you. Some people hate it for. I like it. I tried to watch it recently from the point I knew I stopped, and I was like, I don't remember anything. Why isn't it helping me? And then I remembered it doesn't help. Because wants you to basically not like wants you to watch it all, even though it was a week. I also another anime I enjoyed while I was still on. He was Dragon Ball Super. Literally, my favorite moment, or like my favorite anime gift, is the moment near the end. Spoiler. Where Vegeta essentially just like has a total like I can't comprehend this moment during like the final battle of the currently aired anime. I know a lot of other people like it because it is so like you would feel the same while watching it if not for all the hype of the battle. The battle is just so hyped, like, yeah, awesome, best thing ever. That I kind of got over it very quickly. Oh wait, this is happening. This is happening. And then one of my favorite just Japanese properties is Descendants of a Book. It's a light novel series where it's also isekai. You can tell that I just love isekai. The best. It's essentially about a character who loves books, who's sent to a world where books are very uncommon. Like, they are only owned by the rich folks. But it also turns out there's magic in the world. But all the magic belongs to rich folks also. But not simply because of it's expensive cast magic. More it's, the rich folks are the only people who are born with the capability of casting. And the main character isn't a rich folk. She said she just sets out to create her own book. Because she can no way afford them. And then the story just unravels from there. They've already completed the web novel version. But now they're working on the light novel version. And they're already at like book like 30 in Japan. Yet here it's like, oh, translated stuff like only to book 15. It just makes me was like, I need to learn Japanese, read Japanese, not speak. I just need to learn to read Japanese and then import all the already released books so that I can just skip ahead and know what is going on. Oh, and Descendants also has a anime of it, so, but it's only to like, well, with the most recent coming out, so it hasn't even really. Basically, it's the end of like the book that it will go to for this through is like the 7th or 8th book is where it's going. So if you want to read up to where it is out right now, don't read up to the 7th or 8th book. Read to like the 6th, I think. Really, if you don't want to read ahead of the anime, just look it up online. Look like, oh, how far has the anime gone in the book? Personally, I hope all the books are adapted, because it would be frankly awesome to see all the stuff that I've already read be like in anime form. There are just certain moments that are like, ooh, that's just so awesome, I can't wait to see it. But when I read the light novels, I was just like, wow, they left out a lot of content. And then I realized, oh, there's a reason they left out all this. A lot of the content they left out. A little meaningless. Literally, there was a, oh, there's this caretaker person who takes care of all the kids. They appeared once. So they didn't want to put in the effort to draw the character and introduce them. So they just left the character out. Oh, and by the way, this book is set in pseudo-medieval. Reason pseudo-medieval is because, well, it's not that. You can't really ever say that's just medieval. It has to be pseudo-medieval. That's why if you're like, oh, this was how medieval times were with the D&D setting, that isn't supposed to just be medieval times. You can just say, there's magic. There's not magic in the real world, so you can't bring up real world stuff from the past to justify you're just not that creative character. And while Descendants of a Bookworm use a lot of the medieval stuff, also very much as like, oh, this is unique to this world. Like one of the things that is just like, oh, well, this uses medieval yet also it's a wholly unique world is. So basically there are normal creatures and then there are basically like magic creatures. Yet all the like magic creatures are like so unique that are just like, oh, there's some that kind of are like our world, but then there's some that are like, oh, this has no parallel. Like they don't show this part in the anime, but in the book, there's literally a cooking scene where it explains like, oh yeah, these are all the differences. This thing that looks like a tomato, you have to smash it, otherwise it will explode. Oh, this thing that looks like a mushroom, you gotta burn it, otherwise it will start jumping around and you try to cut it. And those are just some of like the touches that made me go, I need to read this entire series right now. And thus I sped through it. I kind of regret speeding through it, but also, you know, very much to ever regret reading something too quickly means you enjoyed it so much that you wish there was more. And at that point, maybe you can just reread it. But if you really can't reread it because you read too quickly, just find another series. There are a ton of series out there. A single series that I do not suggest unless you are literally ready to deal with an annoying protagonist. He's one called All Routes Lead to Doom. I think his name. I can't remember. It's got an anime adaptation. But reading through the light novel, the main character is so dense and cannot tell that she has changed the story. She still thinks the story is the exact same as it was before. And can't, like, notice that, yes, the story has changed. So she literally thinks at every turn of the story, this is also isekai. So it's like isekai of a dating game, where she turned into the villain. And she still thinks it's the exact same yet. If she paid attention to the world around her, she noticed, oh yeah, this character who was totally like hated me in the thing, they're now like my best friend. She can't even notice that, and it's like the most annoying thing ever. And it's just like, how do you not notice? You are the densest character ever. I don't want to read you anymore. Like, I literally think I have one of the light novels and like I've got a completely unread book, yet I've not refunded it because I don't know if I can get a refund. And I kind of just don't care if I get a refund because I'm fine with the people who haven't gotten their money. I'm not up for cash. I'm streaming, but that is what I have to remind myself a lot of the time. To basically like, it doesn't matter, Sarah, it does not matter that you are not as big as someone. You have a job. This is not your job. This is what you do for fun. Man. One of the actual stuff that I'm watching right now is called How a Realist Hero, or A Realist Hero Rebuilt the Game, or how, I don't remember. It's like Realist Hero Rebuilt Kingdom. It's like some of the stuff you can do with their course. And it's okay. Weirdly enough, there are a lot of good and bad anime, and this one's just kind of like one of those okay ones, but weirdly enough, those are some of the ones I like best. It's just like, oh, this is just okay. That means it's going to be one of the ones I watch all the way through. Because some of those, like, oh, this is like one of the best animes ever, they're too hyped up by people. And they literally make it so that I'm like, do I want to watch that one? It sounds like it's so good that it just might not be. But kind of that's the danger with having a good anime that gets talked about a lot. Some people might just think, but is it really that good? Do I want to sit through something that might be bad for a while and then it gets good? Like My Hero Academia. That's one of the ones, like, there's a total chance you have not watched that one because too many people said it was good. And you just kind of went, I will not watch it because it is too good. People have described it as too good. Thus, I will have unrealistic expectations. That's a little bit how I felt when I showed people a really good thing that I was like, this is so perfect. And I started hyping up, and then they're just like, they didn't even react to it, and I'm just kind of like, why aren't you reacting? Why aren't you saying it's the best thing ever? And then I just remember, oh yeah, I hyped it up the best thing ever. So they were expecting the best thing ever. They probably just thought it was okay. You don't want to tell me that. That's supposed to be. Now I have to work on the top, which apparently I will have completed this by the 2-hour mark, so I will obtain after that. But that also means to my company model. After stream, probably gonna watch the Realist anime more, since I didn't complete it yet. So yeah, you can actually, if I ever decide to do this, you can actually really tell that, yes, I like isekai, because I actually have, I'm working on a book that is literally all about a character being isekai into their favorite property and changing it for the better because they know there are flaws in it. Like I'm currently rewriting it because I realized how short it was and kind of how just so straightforward the plot was that it's kind of like I need to extend it. I want to have it not just basically uh, Novetta, I think is the name of the style of book. And by style, I literally mean like so there are book length, and the length of my book was going to be so small that it was categorized as like a novetta. And like one of the ways I know that I can like increase the length of the book is by basically making it from more than just the protagonist viewpoint. Like that was one of the things like I could only tell it from the protagonist viewpoint, set up. So there wasn't really that much that could be done. There was like only like so much plot, but if I include all the characters, at least a lot of them, like all the major characters, side characters, well, really major characters. Why would I include characters that aren't so much? But if I start including more characters, viewpoints will get longer. That's like, I don't know if that's good writing. I just know there's like, it's the way that I can tell more of the story. There's literally one part of the story that's like, how do I convey this to the viewer, to the reader, if I only have one character? Here, flashback, retelling from another character's point of view. Now if I extend it out, I'll be able to eventually not have to be forced to have like, oh, this weird scene that barely fits with the rest of the book. Now it will just be, oh, that's a scene in the book if I make it so that it isn't just main character viewpoint. Of course, Ascendance does the whole, oh, we don't really tell stuff from the main character viewpoint, except in basically their side stories, like their prologue, the epilogue, and their, like, well, really, I already explained everything. We've got side stories, prologue, and, like, epilogue, that are all told not from the main character's point of view. And I know that could totally work, but my book isn't long enough to be able to do that. So I just gotta tell everyone's point of view if I want multi-point. Actually, as someone who knows ice cream in real life, like I know them in real life, when like, you should like play a light novel on stream, and it was the most confusing thing ever. Yet I'm gonna give you a little bit to figure out what they actually meant. They meant a visual novel. I know that wasn't that long, but whatever. You'll get over it. you're not going to comment, I'm just going to talk to the void. Because I'm a void. It's like a void walk. That's not. Hopefully this game has been somewhat satisfying. Even with all my rambling. And I really do hope you all enjoyed the stream so far. Because that's what I'm doing this for people to enjoy it. Meaning if you are literally having the worst time ever, I'm sorry. You know, I slightly think doing a debut was a little pointless with how little viewership I've actually gotten. Half the point of a debut is so that people are like, yeah, big event, we get to see you first time or whatever. But apparently I didn't do it correctly or whatever. So, we're just a new big event. It's just me talking to myself. All the people that talked left. Speaking of anime, even though I know I recently talked about it, what I just did. You guys hear about the Funimation Crunchyroll thing? There's so many people that are like, oh, this is the worst. I'm just like, it means I only have to pay for one service. Even though there's still high dive. That I can just pay for two. Instead of the three that I would have had to pay to watch all the good anime. The annoying part is that they haven't transferred over everything, meaning I still have to kind of like go in between. But it's a first world problem. I mean, the rest of the world's a bigger problem that I'm not going to talk about. I'm not technical. The guy who talked about all the problems. Well, he doesn't talk. He also talks about Sonic. Okay, into Sonic. Go watch Neko Sir. Even if you're into Sonic. And you know the way I'm talking about. Oh, you know what I am talking about. And who think you do not. Simply a fallacy. You are deluding yourself. You know, the only thing that I worry about right now with the stream, whether or not it's allowed, kind of tells you how little I should have cared about the fact that. What should I talk about now? What other games I'm playing? There's a concept called idle games. It's really just supposed to be run in the background or whatever. And there's one that I'm really into called Nilotoon. And it's a fun game, but it's also a tedious game where you essentially run into walls that you just have to go through all the time. By walls you have to go through, I literally mean like it's a game that you die and then start over constantly. It's not like a roguelike. It's more akin to a roguelike, one where you get upgrade and whatnot. And you essentially like keep certain upgrades throughout. I used to play it way more, but now I don't so much. It's mostly because it's not like fully automated. There are certain parts that aren't fully automated. Most idle games try to be as automated as possible, but this just has certain parts until you do stuff that it just isn't automated, and I just don't have the time to pay attention to it with everything else I'm doing currently, like running the stream, making sure the stream just really basically exists. Okay. Well, that's the end of that game because, yeah, I'm over that now. Let's quit and go to the next one, which was going to be Arena. You will be able to see. Why are there so many Magic the Gatherings? Why can't I simply put in Arena? Is it not going to load? Here. There. If that's wrong and people can't find it, then whatever. Oh, it's got to update. And yes, I'm looking at my phone. I am now going to switch chairs since my cat gave it back. Sorry for the noise. Yes, MT Arena is currently updating, so while I wait, I'm going to see something. Why does it say I only have one follower? I know I have two, unless I really only have one. I could only have one. What if you could have left? Nope, I have two. The game is still downloading, so just I know it's a little annoying, but or for being silent, it's got like a gigabit to download, so I'm just gonna start talking. So yeah, so the current deck I'm running in Arena is basically a red white samurai deck that contains multiple legendaries because of this card called Mirror Box that basically makes so that you can ignore the normal legendary roll, which makes the normal legendary roll is that you can only have one of each named legendary out on the field. Meaning, like, let's say, for example, there's a legendary named Dragon, just generically Dragon. You can only have one card named Dragon, but if there was a card named Red Dragon, you could have both Red Dragon and Dragon out on the field, even though they're both had the word dragon in them. It's because it's the name of the thing, the name of the actual card, not the intended application of the card. Yeah, that's the deck I currently run, and I have been doing well with it because, frankly, the mechanics of Warriors, not Warriors, Neon Dynasty's Samurai, work really well together because they're all like, if a single samurai of yours attacks alone, They get all these boosts that are triggered from other creatures, including themselves if they're one, if they've got a boost. And I know a lot of people have based their decks on that. If you're playing Samurai, not just Samurai, if you're playing Neon and you don't want to go Ninjutsu, you go with that. You go with the Samurai because the um Neon is basically about, do you want to play like these special cards to have special effects when they attack, aka the Samurai, or do you want to have these ones that are like, oh, you can substitute them basically via mana cost or something. And normally the ninjutsu cards have like, if this deals combat damage to a player, activate this effect. Like one is, if you dealt damage to a player, draw a card. And it's all because ninjutsu is basically just, did one of your creatures go undefended? Pay ninjutsu and replace them with this possibly better creature. It's still downloading. It is taking forever. Finally reached a gigabyte, but it's like 1.35 gigabytes. Still downloading. All right, I'm being distracted by other stuff. Oh yeah, since I'm waiting, so they finally basically started releasing Lisher for Magic again, and the most recent Lisher essentially is kind of spells out what's going to happen in like the next couple sets. If you look back a couple sets, you will know that an old enemy from an earlier set called Phyrexians will return and start trying to conquer the multiverse. Because the most recent like lore stuff that has happened is essentially they're these things called planewalkers, for those who don't know. And they can essentially do what they is on their name. They can planeswalk. And that makes it so that they can basically walk between planes. That's why there's so many, like, there's a set called Kamikawa, Ravnica, Amonkhet. Those are all different planes, and planes walk between them. And recently, the Phyrexians, who are beings that are created, thus they can't normally planeswalk, just got like made a planeswalker into one of them. And now from seeing that, you know that they're like the entire future couple sets. As soon as like the story starts happening, there's basically going to be who will be a Phyrexian planeswalker now, who will be completed as they basically say. Yeah, it's downloaded now, so I'm going to switch. And no game. Why no game? Why no game? It's picking up the audio. Why is it? Why no game? Oh yeah, you're all seeing me troubleshoot. Here, I'll fix it by re-adding game. Still no game? Apparently this game just won't run. Here, I'll try something. Still nothing? Apparently I just can't play this game.
The oil is perfect. Phyrexia's history in liquid form.
Doesn't make sense why you can't see it. Here, I'll do something that hopefully won't. Yeah, that still didn't do anything. Also could have really picked up. Oh, it's not working, so I just apparently can't play. Why can't I play? I thought it worked. Here, I'll play a single bot man. It is not. You can perfectly hear it, yet it's not going. Why is it not going? Yes.
Let's get started.
Here. You will see a second me now. Maybe. No, you won't. Wait, is it just this? Let's see this. I will add game capture to this and see. Does game capture appear? No. Game capture does not appear. Why no game capture? Doesn't make sense. Seriously, it really does not make sense. I remember this working. I test all my games out, as far as you know, before. So let's just load up a different game and see if that'll work. And if it doesn't, then maybe I'll just end the stream. Still trying to get it to work. Sorry, people. Maybe it's just not gonna work. Maybe. Currently testing with a different game. If that one doesn't work, then I know that it's just some problem that I can't fix right now. No, apparently MTG Arena is just not getting caught. That's a little annoying. I really wanted to play that on stream. Since I can't play it on stream, I'll just switch the game that I brought up. Which is the Hardspace Shipbreaker game. Here we go. I'm going to give the same disclaimer I gave before. This game is a little Yugi inducing. Actually, I'm going to change my model, and I'd rather not you all see me changing it. So, there. Different model. Far more comfy model. You know, I should probably close out Magic if I'm done with it. It's almost as if Magic knows I am streaming and does not want to work. It took forever to close. I'd rather it be a little more chill, so I'm turning off oxygen drain. And to those who this is your first time watching watching someone play this game, this is essentially a game where you are in space, you fly around and take apart ships inside your ship bay. It is if you cannot handle VR, this may be one of those games you don't exactly want to watch. Because I can literally spin 360 very fast.
9346-52. Your sleep period is now over. Have a great day.
Oh yes, this is space. Like Markiplier said, space is so cool. Even capitalist space, which is what this is. The entire game is about capitalist space. You're essentially working for a company that put you $1 billion in debt, I think. Yeah, you're $1 billion in debt because of a company. Because you chose to work for them. It's one of the funnier parts. Because you chose to work for our company, here's $1 billion of debt. updated the game? No, they have not. Apparently I haven't seen this.
Let me tell you how to use these things. Tethers are more powerful than the beam of your grapple, so they're great for moving super heavy salvage. Try it out. Press and hold the secondary input for the grapple to begin placement. Point where you want the salvage to move to, and then release it to create the tether. Great. Now, what if you want to get rid of the tethers you've placed? There's a cancel command you can send, but take note that it clears all the tethers you place. Go ahead and try it now.
I am not trying it now, Weaver. I want these things to go in.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Now.
Yeah, there you go. Now you've got unlimited tethers during this training exercise. But after this, when you need more, you'll have to buy them from the kiosk. Let's see how well you can handle them now. Try to clear out a bunch of that scrap. You can stack multiple tethers on one object to increase the pull force. You can also chain objects of any size together to move them all as a group. I've seen some cutters do some incredible things with the daisy chain of tethers. All right, well done, Cutter. Looks like you know how to handle these things. When you're ready, let's go back to the hab and continue with the day.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Yeah, I'll have to see if I can fix the capture for MTG Arena. I really want to play that one of these times on stream. And if I'm unable to entirely, then I'm just gonna be a little disappointed. You know, but yes, Magic the Gathering Arena. Nothing really. Why would I be disappointed? I'm not. It's just a little annoying.
Good morning, Shipbreaker. Lynx mandates a maximum of 8 hours of sleep. Any extra sleep time will be docked from the next pay cycle.
Time to get back out there and earn some money. Look at this one. There's a part of this ship that's just so cool to go through that I totally just want to show you guys play.
Hey look, pinging you on a closed channel. If our crew ever gets to mingle face to face, we should crack some beers and share what we do when we get out of the red and start actually making profit from salvaging. Hard to figure when anyone's gonna hit that point though. Weaver's been at this 20 years, but he's slipped back into dev thanks to foreman training. DT sends most of her money back home to New Manila. Transfer goes to Lynx, of course, and the fees are huge. Kaito, well, he's a good person, but just hasn't really taken to the work. He's been warned that he's a low earner. And me, I'm trying to get there as fast as I can. Once I have zero, I'm gonna work maybe another year or two and just bank it off. All I want is enough to get one of those mining skips for belt running. Still so many rich rocks along the frontier line. Eventually hire some friends from back on the Eris platforms above Mars. So many good folks who just can't get work. Don't know when that'll be though. Every time I think I'm earning at a steady clip, the company finds another fine or fee to slap on. Anyway, I'll let you get back to it.
And they always slap on fees. They don't want to lose you. You're just too good. Yep, you aren't. Like, you as the player are the best shipbreaker out there. Out of like everyone you meet.
Salvage secured.
Some may say like, oh, that's a
Credit
little
applied.
arrogant. But I'm like, you are the best one because you can easily make it out of debt. Yet everyone else is like, I'm in debt for forever. How do I get out of debt? Like an earlier build of this game, because this game is still in access. And they basically wipe your progress each build. I literally got it to 0. It wasn't that difficult. I'm just like, are you as a player really that good, or is it just because it's a story? I think it's both. I think you and a player are just so good. I think it's because it's a story. Because it is a little clear that you are abnormal. You're like such a natural that it's entirely because you're playing. You're such a natural.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits
Now
transferred.
it's time to show you guys. Cool.
Clock's ticking now, Cutter. Get in there and hit that shut-off switch.
Warning. Fire damage. This recommends maintaining a safe distance from flammable items. Warning. Fire damage.
Nice work. Now the fuel lines are empty, and they won't give you nothing to worry about anymore. Always a good idea to flush them first.
But you can't, Weaver. It is impossible to flush
Salvage
these
secured.
before you
Credits
break them.
deposited.
Warning. Fuel levels are low. Fuel supplies are available for purchase at the Master Jack. Thruster unstable. Fire hazard risk high.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Caution. Tether supplies are low.
Cutter, you're out of tethers. Get yourself over to the kiosk to buy some more.
Object accepted for
Oh,
processing. Credits
goodness
deposited.
suck. And by suck, I mean that piece right there is not supposed to go there. It's about to
Valuable
all be
components
destroyed.
Penalty applied.
Won't ever be destroyed if your gravity was better.
Thank you for your purchase.
Tethers restored.
Not really gravity. I need fuel. Yeah, when you're this early, the fastest way to move around is the tether, the grapple pull on a movable object.
Thank you for your purchase.
Fuel levels restored.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
I should start talking. Now back to anime. I've watched a bunch of older anime. Some of my favorites are a little generic because literally everyone says, "Oh yeah, this is my favorite anime." One of my favorite anime is Cowboy Bebop. There's a reason. It's just so good that it ends up in every list of this is best anime. It's the reason everyone kind of wanted a live action,
Credits deposited.
but it's also the reason everyone's like, this is a bad live. No matter even if it was really bad or good.
Salvage gained. Credits awarded.
I just think it was bad because it didn't get a second season. Because they built it so much, like at least near the end, so much like they were going to get a second season, that because they didn't, it just turned out so much worse. Really is weird the things that get seasons, like second season, and those that don't.
Deposit accepted.
Because Cowboy Bebop live action wasn't even around long enough that it really should have been canceled. Yeah. And it was like, canceled. Because it was just doing that poorly.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Even though I'm certain if you actually look at the numbers, it did probably as well as some of the ones that get second season. Or even third.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
I also like reading webcomics,
Credits deposited.
and one of the webcomics that I recently completed and got into and completed has now live action, and you can tell that the actual creators of
Account
it
credit applied.
just like at least did their research into the comic, because they include snippets of the comic, like literally just, oh, here's the character art for the character, so you know this is the character.
Credits transferred.
And at the very least, that makes you be like, oh, at the very least, you know what the characters.
Salvage secured.
I haven't watched enough of it, really. It's in a different language, so I kind of couldn't watch it and do something else. So it had to be I only watched this. I've been a little busy this week.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
And if you're wondering what I'm busy with, me too, like preparing for
Salvage
debut.
secured.
All
Account
that.
credit applied.
I completely forgot that I didn't post in one place. I doubt it would. That's just what I'm telling you. I can't change it now. Actually, I can. Let's post in that one place that may get me more. Twitter. Or if I suddenly get an influx of people, I know where it's from.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Yeah, that webcomic that I was talking about that got turned into a show is called A Business Proposal. It is essentially all about, well,
Salvage
a
deposit
proposal.
accepted.
Like,
Credits transferred.
supposed to be married. And I really liked the webcomic. So I'm glad that it got more adaptions or whatever. I can't wait to actually watch it when I have free time. 'Cause at least from the very beginning, you kind of seemed like from the opening, 'cause it had like a bit of an opening, like
Salvage secured. Account credit
whatever,
applied.
and it at least looked basically faithful to that. And any of the new viewers
Salvage
that
secured.
join,
Credits deposited.
I'm currently playing a game called Hardspace Shipbreaker. You salvage ships because you are massively in debt because you chose to work for a company.
Salvage deposit accepted.
It's-
Credits transferred.
It is a total commentary on kind of cyberpunk, late stage capitalism that usually occurs in cyberpunk setting.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Which just isn't a cyberpunk setting technically. If this was any type of setting, you'd have to basically kind of imagine it as a space setting. It's set in space. And I don't really remember that much talk about like implants or anything.
Salvage secured.
Oh, it
Credits deposited.
might not have implants or anything. At the very least, be able to clone yourself. Because whenever you die, that's the justification for how you're still around. You can clone for a modest fee of
Salvage deposit accepted.
like
Credits
$150,000. But thankfully, you can make like this single little computer part is worth.
Salvage
Oh, it's
secured.
credits, not
Account
dollars.
credit applied.
About worth 36,000 credits. Yeah, that happens when you try to essentially take apart a ship and you can't take it apart.
Valuable object processed. Credits awarded.
I have lost a viewer. Probably that one viewer I gained was on Reddit. Or like, you're not interested. And I'm fine with that. Because if you're all like, well, I only subscribe
Tether supplies
people
running
who are
low.
super interesting, you're a little like, and by subscribe everyone. Why does this keep happening to me? I don't set it up
Valuable
well enough.
component incinerated. Don't do that.
I love how the freaking thing is just like how your AI that helps you is just like, you did something bad.
Welcome to Vintage
Don't do something bad.
Thank you for your purchase. Thank you for your purchase.
Tethers restored.
All the webcomics I've read, I can kind of identify easily certain tropes that are just kind of like, yeah, this will happen here, this will happen here. Like in any story where there's a evil stepmother, and this is usually specifically when it's a story from a webcomic specifically from China. Whenever there's an evil stepfamily, they will always be so arrogant and stupid that they can't tell that, oh yeah, I should really stop antagonizing the main character, otherwise I'll die.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits.
And that's like almost the entire reason I stopped reading, like specifically the exact genre that they kept on appearing in from China, because they were just all
Salvage
the same.
Account credit applied.
It just kind of seemed like they couldn't like think up other story beats to use. Which I know we use the same story beats over and over again, but they really reuse them so much that I could literally be like, okay, this one right here, this is exactly what's gonna happen. Main character is going to be poisoned. Or main character, but no, I'll actually summarize it correctly. Main character's love interest is poison. Turns out it's a poison that only main character can cure with their body or their exceptional poison
Credits deposited.
technique talents. And it's like, it's so
Salvage secured.
overused
Account credit applied.
that as soon as I see it, I can predict what is going to happen in the... Oh, yep, I just died. You're about to see me
Activity
get
has dropped
resurrected.
below nominal levels. Please return to work.
But yeah, it is so predictable that literally there was one where I was just like, at the beginning, it was like, my body, it is cold. I need to go to the hospital. And then it was like, oh, where's the female protagonist that's going to save his life through intimate touch? And no kidding, less than like 2 chapters later in the story, that is exactly what fucking happened. So it's like, wow, some stories are really, really
okay.
good.
Got yourself good there. Don't sweat it. Happens to the best of us. Always good to review your spare replacement form and see how you can avoid future mishaps. Too many spares will rack up the debt. That's how they get you. Okay, let's get back to work. Weaver out.
One comment there makes me think that a lot of other workers die way too often.
Salvage deposit accepted.
And that might be one of those, like, hidden fees that people are talking about. That one person totally talked about. I'm just like, then don't die. It's real easy. And people just aren't cut out. Right.
Caution, tether supplies are low.
And it's fairly obvious from another character. This is one. He's like the Asian cutter that you need. That is just like, you are not suited to be a shipbreaker. Why are you continuing? I know why. Because you're in massive debt. Because you even started. Which is just how I'm like, yeah, this is the exact reason you're still here, even though you suck at this job. Because
Credits deposited. Salvage secured. Account credit applied. Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
at the very least, like the Korean web aren't as predictable as some of the Chinese ones. Because I've been surprised by the Korean one so many more times than the Chinese one. Because at the very least, it seems like they don't basically repeat a story ad infinitum.
Cutter, looks like you used your last tether. Head on over to the kiosk if you need more.
This is very much how it feels with their certain Chinese webtoons. Some would say that's because you're basically looking for the exact same genre in these, or the people are. But I've seen a couple that aren't even like of that same genre. So I think the webtoon genre of at least the ones that are translated into America is a little biased. Like they really love this specific stuff to translate.
Welcome to Vendatron 9000. Thank you for your purchase.
Tethers restored.
Yeah, I also know both really love exactly one genre to translate, or the Korean stuff often, or even the possibly Japanese isekai stuff where you get reincarnated into a novel. I see it so very often that it is obvious that that is the Korean preferred translation genre, where it's like, you have read this novel and you get transported into it, and now you are evil villain instead of hero, because I, actual author of this thing, am subverting expectations. Yet nowadays, you're not subverting expectations doing that. You're just going with the flow now. You are expected to make the novel about the villain being inhabited by a different person, thus no longer being the villain.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Now, instead of streaming for whoever knows how long
Tether supplies running
I
low.
was going to, I do think it might be best if I just
Valuable object processed. Credit
Like,
awarded.
stop when I complete the ship.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited. Object accepted for processing. Credits deposited. Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Warning. No tethers remaining.
Gotta be careful. I could lose that to the furnace. Oh, I'm not losing the furnace. That's good.
Valuable object processed. Credits deposited. Ship teardown complete. Cutter account credited.
Yippee. There, salvage everything
Salvage secured.
that is
Account
worth
credit
anything
applied.
on this junk.
Caution. Tether supplies are low.
How does time? Oh, I did. Oops.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
There. I'm done with that ship, and I will be going. While stopping the stream.
New certification level achieved. License
As
upgraded.
I feel a little streamed out, and I try to go for 3 hours, 3 to 5 hours, and this is 3 hours.
Good morning, Shipbreaker. Lynx would like to share the following message. The only Ps permitted in the salvage yard are profit, processor, and potassium trifluoromethane sulfonate.
I think it's time for you to learn about.
Oh, I don't think it's time. Well, hope everyone had a fun time streaming. I had fun. It is now streaming time.